There we go. Welcome to this week's edition of the Principal's Office. I am so glad to be with you. I am Jamal Maxim, igniter of champion leaders, co-owner of Lead Like a Champion, where we ignite leaders to fulfill their leadership assignment and to bring change and transformation. And the method that I do is by helping you lead from a kingdom perspective. Now, if you notice, I am in a totally different location today. But I want to say hi before I explain where I am. Hello to everybody watching on the replay, on the various social media platforms. The comments are available. Feel free to like, comment, and share this video. And then those of you who are listening in the Igniting Champion Leaders Club on Clubhouse, welcome to the room. Welcome to all of you who are in the space right now, but also everyone who is listening on replay. The comments are open. And after I end the video portion of the podcast, then I will bring you guys to the stage and we will engage in some conversation. I will hear your thoughts about the topic and answer any questions you may have. And so, as you may notice, those of you watching the video, I am not in my usual place. I am not in my home office, which is called the Encounter Room. It looks, as you can see, I am outside. I am on location. I am traveling this week, and I am actually in Las Vegas. So I'm sitting outside of where I'm staying in Las Vegas and wanted to make sure that I still did this thing live because I wanted to just be here to connect with you, to ignite you in your leadership, and to just assist you as you walk out your leadership assignment and do what you have been purposed and called to do as a leader. Because one of the things that prompted tonight's topic is the fact that I have noticed on various social media platforms, but especially on LinkedIn, where people have been saying, congratulations, I just started this new role. Congratulations, I just accepted this new role. And so one of the things that I was thinking about, I began to reflect on what I needed when I stepped into my new role. When I left the classroom and became a school leader, what did I need? Or when I left leading at one school to go to the next school, what did I need? Or when I changed positions from being a school leader to being a district level admin, what did I need? Because when you step into a new position, there's this initial excitement. There's the initial congratulations. There's an initial sense of, yeah, I made it. I accomplished my goal. But after you get there, there is something that needs to happen in order for you to stay focused. Remember, when you are leading, and as a leader, whether it's through your coaching business, whether as a tech coordinator or school leader, instructional coach, regardless of the title, when you are leading, remember that leadership is not just a calling, it is an assignment. Meaning that you were born and have the skill set and gifting to fulfill the assignment of leading. And so you are not put in the position of leadership to go with the flow or to keep things as they are or to just make do. And so I wanted to talk to you tonight about certain keys and 5 things that you need to successfully step into your new position as a leader. When you recognize that you have been called to leadership, and leadership is a calling, there are certain things that you will need, 5 things, 5 keys, 5 strategies as you step into this new place so that you can be successful and so you can avoid any challenges that may come as a result of just simply not knowing. Leadership is challenging enough, and you don't want to make things harder by our own actions. Okay. And so those of you who are listening live on Clubhouse, my microphone setup is different because I'm traveling, as I said earlier, and it's starting to rain. Now, for those of you who are in the Good Morning Kingdom Coaches show with me, we've been talking about rain for weeks, and everywhere we go, it's been raining. So you can hear in the background some thunder, and I'm looking and I'm seeing some sprinkles of rain. But I'm under a canopy, and so hopefully I don't have to do the thing by grabbing this camera and going inside. So hopefully it doesn't rain too hard to where my electrical equipment may get some water. But anyway, so here's the thing. Remember, it's season of rain. So just So let's rejoice in that. All right, so here we go. So there are 5 strategies you need to have so you can recognize your assignment. Now, here's the first thing. We are in a time of shifting and settling where many people are stepping into new roles. I remember months ago, I talked about the changing of the guard and the season of shifting as leaders in every career field have been just moved around and people have moved positions. Some call it the great resignation where people have quit and did something else. Other people, accepted positions, other people retired. However, whatever it looked like, there has been shifting and changing of positions. And one of the things I said at that time is that there is a changing of the guard. With people leaving positions and going into new ones, there is the open door for fresh ideas, fresh perspectives, and fresh strategy. And so with that changing of the guard, the fresh ideas, fresh perspectives, and fresh strategy, that's the opportunity for things to shift, change, and be built and restored and done the way that God intends. For those of you who know me, I speak very freely about leading from a kingdom perspective because I believe that that as a leader in the school district and in my coaching business has been because of my faith. And so a lot of things you will hear me say is from that vantage point. And so in this time of shifting, and I'm just saying it for those of you who are who are new and fresh to watching me. And so people have been stepping into these new roles and this shifting and changing has been happening. And so beyond the initial excitement, the congratulations, the, ooh, that's great for you, the pats on the back, the gifts on your desk and everything like that, it's important that you take the proper posture. As I remember when I stepped out of the school district and became a full-time CEO, there was a lot of congratulations, a lot of people telling me, good job, way to go, applauding my courage, in all of those things. But there was a posture beyond the initial affirmation. And I'm telling you, as you step into your leadership assignment, beyond the affirmation, beyond the people congratulating you, and beyond the excitement or the sense of I did it, there is a posture that you must have, and there are strategies that you must employ in order to be successful. Because you didn't get there just to say I did it, you got there to do it. So here's the thing I want you to remember. And I'm not even into my keys yet, but here's the thing I want you to remember. That first is you have to give people time to get to know you in the new position. Now, this is very important for those who knew you prior to or knew you way back when. They knew you in a previous position. Now they have to get to know you and how you're going to operate in this new place, because they may have known how you operated before, known how you responded before, known your personality before. But in a new place, it requires a new building of relationships, because the way you operated before this new leadership role is going to be totally different than the way you did before. A lot of people will say, well, I'm the same person. I'm still the same. My responsibilities has just changed. That's true and not true. And what I would do is challenge that perspective, simply because you are not the same person, because something inside you has had to change in order for you to step into that new role. And so while you may have the same character, but you should be a new and improved you. And so now I'm not. And I know the sentiment where people are saying they're not going to let the new position go to their head and get in pride, which is good, because pride is not good. People will not follow you as a leader if you get into pride. You're thinking that you have to be the guru, the know-it-all, the one in charge, the one on the spotlight, because that's not leadership. And so, but the new you is operating in a new place. And so you have to allow people to get to know how you're going to be in that new position, regardless of how long you served alongside people or how much you have served people from your previous position. And then you have to give yourself time while you're giving people time, you now have to give yourself time to learn the new position and to find your way of operating and functioning in that new place. You cannot assume that the preparation to get there will be the same thing that is needed to be successful there. Arrival is different from possessing and taking dominion and being successful in that place. It's one thing to arrive, it's another thing to be there. It's like driving a car. When you drive your car, you arrive, but it's a totally different action to pull up and park. And so now that you are there, you have to make sure that you are getting to know the new you, learning the position, learning your skill set, identifying how the gifts in you are going to function as a new leader in this new space. Because one of the things that I said earlier, and if you guys saw my reel or my IG, my short, or whatever it's called on the different platforms. If you saw my reel earlier today, you will find that I talked about how you have to ensure that when you are in a new place, there's a new way of talking, a new way of thinking, and you have to align your words with what you are saying and not accept words that are contrary to what you are believing. So in this new place, your words even will change and your perspective will have to change. And so you want to make sure that you give yourself time to focus on how you're going to operate. Because in the leadership space, there's a lot of talk about strength-based leadership. And I'm in the middle of reading that book right now, which is a good perspective where you build a team of people and you lead and influence people from your places of strength. And you allow people to be in their places of strength and build a cohesive team around everybody's strengths so that we can accomplish the vision. But here's the thing I add to that. Not only do you want to have strengths-based leadership, you want gifts-based leadership. You see, it's been coming out all this time. I've been trying to say that sentence. It's been coming out. And when I talk about gifts-based leadership, I'm talking about not just looking at someone's strengths. I'm talking about looking at where and how they are gifted and how you can enhance the utilization of that gift in your leadership and as you are leading people. And that will take time because your gift will operate differently in a new space and in a new role. How you functioned before will be totally different. So here are some strategies I want to give you right now as we talk about how to successfully step into a new position in your leadership role. Number one, you have to identify your assignment prior to taking the role. Before you take the role, you want to be clear on what is my leadership assignment in this space. When getting there and trying to figure it out is going to put you behind the eight ball or behind the curve, and you don't want to play catch up as a leader. You want to be right in sync with what's going on. So prior to even getting the role, you want to identify your assignment. Now, if you're in the school district and you're applying for a position, obviously this is going to help you when you're getting interviewed. If you're coaching and consulting and you're thinking about, okay, what am I supposed to be doing? Who am I supposed to help? This will help you before you start trying to show up on social media to say you serve people. You got to identify what is my assignment as I'm getting started. And so after you identify your assignment prior to taking a role, then there's more work to do during the role in terms of clarifying that assignment. So you identify it prior, then now you are in it, and now you have to clarify the assignment. Because what may look like the assignment before you get into the thick of it may be slightly different, or the details of the assignment may shift once you step into the thing, because perspective is everything. Now, because when you are in a position, and positional leadership is the lowest form of leadership, but when you are in a position, that gives you greater access to information. And with the greater access to information, now you can clarify the assignment, because now information is privy to you that you didn't have prior to stepping into that role. So that was key number two. So key number one, identify the assignment prior to taking a role. Number two was to clarify the assignment after taking the role. Now, number 3, you want to ensure the assignment is in alignment with the specific vision of the place you're serving. So where you are serving, you want to make sure that what your assignment is in alignment with where the people you are leading need to go. Because if your assignment and your vision is not in alignment with the vision of the people you are leading and where they need to go, then that's division and that's going to be confusion. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that there is alignment with your assignment and the vision, because your assignment will be ultimately lead to the fulfillment of the vision of the place where you are sent. And so with that, because people are listening on Clubhouse, I'm going to do what's called a reset and stop for a commercial break. This is the Igniting Champion Leaders Club, and you are listening to 5 keys to successfully step into your assignment. Those of you who are watching, this is the Principal's Office video podcast sponsored by Lead Like a Champion. And I want to let you know that the Leadership Accelerator is now enrolling so you can enhance your ability to lead change, build teams, and build culture and successfully fulfill your leadership assignment today. So you want to go to jamalmaxim.org/LA and enroll in the Leadership Accelerator. All right, so let's get back into this content. So we said, number 1, we said the first thing was to identify your assignment prior to taking a role. Number 2, identify the assignment or clarify the assignment after you take the role. And then number 3 was to ensure the assignment is in alignment with the specific vision of the place you are leading. Now, here's number 4. Number 4 is this: you have to determine if your assignment involves leading change or accelerating progress. Now, in my last video podcast of the Principal's Office, I talked about there's a different strategy for each one. Whether you're leading change or accelerating progress, you want to have the correct strategy. So in order to be successful in your new role, you got to figure out which one is which, so that you do not make the mistake of trying to apply the wrong strategy to the place you are in, which will cause more damage than good. All right, so that was number 4. Now, number 5 is this, which is super key: build relationships, which is essential to everything you're going to do as a leader. And notice I said build relationships. I didn't say earn relationships. I didn't say work for the relationship. I said build it, because relationships are built, not earned. Trust is built, not earned. And don't get into that performance of jumping through hoops, thinking that you are building a relationship and thinking people like you when they simply only like what you're doing for them. And the minute you stop doing what they like, they stop liking you. And you don't want to get into that kind of soft serve leadership where you can't lead, because you can't lead who you need. Even though we need people, but if you are needy as a leader, you will not be able to influence them, and they will not give you permission to lead them. All right. And that's a totally different thing that I teach in the Leadership Accelerator. So you need to jump in on that. All right. So that was number 4. You got to determine if your assignment involves leading change or if it involves acceleration. Now, here's the 5th key. You want to build. Oh, I talked about building relationships, which is essential. So I said number 5. Here's the bonus. This is the bonus key. The culture. You must be intentional to build the culture, and you must assess the needs of the culture. And you have to look at it in a deep and relevant way. You don't want to get caught into what I call an artificial culture, where it appears to be one way, but deep down there's some other stuff going on that will only come up when there are certain triggers. I remember stepping into a school district and the culture seemed almost perfect. It was like people were like, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. You're the kind of leader we've been waiting on. We've prayed for, a principal like you." And so I was hearing all of these things. But then as I kept examining, kept leading, I kept building relationships, I was able to see it wasn't like it appeared. There were some deep rooted things and seeds that were planted of opposition. There were some things deep in the culture that was divisive. So in order for the culture to truly be how they presented it to be, we had to deal with those deep rooted things and not try to ignore them and pretend we had a culture that we didn't have. And so you want to make sure that you are analyzing the culture, because you don't want a pretend culture. You don't want the fake stuff. You don't want something that's artificial. You want it to be real. If you are saying, oh, we're like a family, you want it to really be a family, and not just in word only, but in action. Now, for those of you who are coaching, these things I'm talking about as you are building community with your clients, because there are a lot of coaches and consultants that watch me. And for those of you in schools, you already know you can't play in fake culture with the students or with the teachers. It just ain't happening. And so that was number 6. That was the 6th thing. I'm going to review these real quick before I have to end the video podcast. So remember, number 1, identify your assignment prior to taking the role. Number 2, clarify the assignment after you take the role. Number 3, you want to ensure the assignment is in proper alignment with the specific vision of the place you are leading, or the place you are helping, or the people you are helping. And then number 4, you want to determine if your assignment involves leading change or acceleration. And then number 5, you want to build relationships, because it's essential to everything you do as a kingdom focused leader. And then the bonus, I seem to always have bonuses, which is cool, is the culture. You want to assess it, you want to begin building it, and you want to dig deep into the deep layers of it, because you don't want the fake stuff. You don't want the fake culture. You don't want anything artificial. All right, so that's it for this week. Oh, wait a minute, I got one more thing. Let me tell you this before I end the video. Here's the thing. As a kingdom-focused leader, no matter where you plant it, you want to allow God to reveal how your gifts will function in this new assignment. And because the new assignment is going to cause your gifts that are in you to function in a heightened way. I think I said that earlier, but if I didn't, there you go. You just heard it again. So make sure you take all of these things into consideration as you are celebrating the fact that you have a new role, as you're saying, oh, I've taken this new position, or I just started this new leadership position, or I'm just launching this new program, or I'm stepping into this new area as a consultant and coach. You need to think about these things so that you can step into it successfully as a leader, because coaching one is an aspect of leadership. So if you're a coach, you're a leader. Now, if you're a leader and you're not coaching, you need to get into the Leadership Accelerator so I can help you with that. So again, the Leadership Accelerator is open. Enrollment is open right now. You can go to jamalmaximum.org/LA and enroll in the Leadership Accelerator. Or if you just have questions and want to know more about what it looks like specifically for you to get the differentiated instructional experience, then you can go to jamalmaximum.org and just get on my calendar, and we can set up a time to discuss what it looks like and exactly what your needs are. And so that's it for this week's office video portion of the podcast. If you are not a part of the Igniting Champion Leaders Club in the on Clubhouse, you want to get it, because right now we're about to get into the VIP portion of Q&A, of discussion, and even some laser coaching as needed. And so with that, I'm going to end this video. I will see most of you tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, for the Dismantling Spiritualism video podcast, which is also a podcast sponsored by Lead Like a Champion LLC, where we talk about the spiritual and the supernatural aspects of leadership in greater detail. And so with that, I want you guys to always, those of you watching me on video, live and on the replay, I want you to lead like a champion, and I want you to be successful.